Hey guys, welcome to the vlog. It is April 22nd, Saturday, 12:39 p.m. So I am about to get into reading for the day. Wow, I'm still reading the same books as last week. So I am reading How High We Go in the Dark. This is the short story collection I'm reading. So I basically just read one story in here a day while I am on the bicycle. And this is a science fiction short story collection. So this takes place literally like 7 years in the future. So not that far into the future, where a pandemic happens, and it's a pandemic that they've never seen anything like it before. So it is obviously a lot more difficult because scientists don't know how to deal with it, that kind of thing. And so it just goes through all different people's stories, and it's spanning years. Like we're 10 years post 2030 now, so we're in the 2040s. So I just always find pandemic fiction so fascinating, especially now that we've lived through a pandemic. So it's a short story collection I'm reading and I'm about to get into here. It's 3 o'clock now, so it's time to talk about my mood reading pick, which is the book that I would like to finish this weekend. Move all this stuff. And that is Take a Hint, Dani Brown. So this is and it's by Talia Hibbert. So this is a romance. So Dani is some kind of teacher. I'm not sure if it's teacher, professor. I'm not sure the age of the students, but she's very focused on her career. She doesn't really want a relationship. She wants to have some fun, but nothing serious. And that's hard to find. Being in her 30s, a lot of people are looking to settle down, have a family, all that, and that's not what she wants to do. And then there is Safir, who he is a security person at the school that she works at, and he is very much he's a hopeless romantic. And there's a fire drill one day, and she gets stuck in the elevator and all of that, and he saves her, and it gets a lot of like tweets and all, because turns out he is actually a retired rugby player, rugby being big in the UK where this takes place, because I know in America we're like, rugby, like what? so he has some fame, and he does have a charity to help athletes, young athletes, like teenagers, with their mental health while dealing with that and doing something positive with that. So he's like, maybe we should pretend we're in a relationship like everyone on Twitter thinks we're in a relationship, and it will bring traction to my charity. And so she agrees and all of that. So it's fake dating. It says Grumpy Sunshine on the back, but to be honest, I don't think that is that strong of a trope in this book. But I am loving this book. It is like really funny, but it is like a 4-star. Like, it's not a new favorite. Like the first book in the series, Get a Life, Chloe Brown, loved, might be my favorite romance. This one, it's like, yes, I like the characters. It makes me laugh out loud, which is rare for a book. And yeah, I like it. I love it, but it's not a new favorite. I am currently on page 238. And this book is 361 pages, so only like 30 pages left. So I am going to try to finish this weekend. Hopefully I do. I totally just did that math way wrong. There's like over 100 pages left. I don't know what I was thinking. Math is not my strong suit, as y'all can tell. I finished the book, guys. So yes, it is a 4-star. Let's go into my thoughts. So I didn't connect with these characters as much as I connected with the characters in the first book in the series. I just don't think that Dani had depth, like not a ton of depth, but she did develop over the course of the story. But I do think Safir was the more developed character in the relationship. The atmosphere, I don't think atmosphere plays a huge part in romance, but it is British and it felt very British. Writing was average, but we're gonna cut out the average part. So the writing did actually make me laugh out loud, which is extremely rare for books to do, They also feel like this book went on a little too long, and it's not even 400 pages, but I felt like it was too long. Then the plot, fake dating isn't my favorite trope, but here I felt like they really made it work and the characters were really mature. That's something with the romance a lot. I'll read characters and they just seem like teenagers, even though they're not. And here that was not the case, as these characters are late 20s, 30s, that kind of age. And they did feel their age. And so they talked through things and all of that. And I really like when characters can do that. So I love this book, but it's not a new favorite like the first book in the series was, but I can't wait to pick up the next one. I don't know what it's called. I know it's about Eve Brown. Let's see, where is it? No, it just says Eve's book, but it is already out. So yes, love this. I don't know if I'm going to start a new book tonight during the intermissions of the hockey game, or do I wait to start one tomorrow? I think I'm gonna start one tonight because, like, why not? Why not? So 4-star here. Okay, I know I look really dumb with this song, but you know. So I am starting a new book, and that is Marvelous by Molly Greeley. So this is historical fiction. I think there might be some fantasy dabbled in. I'm hoping it's not too heavy on the fantasy side. But this is about the people who inspired the book. I guess it was a book, I don't know, Beauty and the Beast. So if you don't know, Beauty and the Beast was inspired by real people. So I'm just going to read y'all the description. So 1547, Pedro Gonzalez, a young boy living on the island at Tenerife, understands that he is different from the other children in his village. He is mercilessly, I can never say that word, ridiculed for hair covering his body from head to toe. When he is kidnapped off the beach near his home, he finds himself delivered by a slave broker into the dangerous and glamorous world of France's royal court. There, Monsieur Savage, as Pedro is known, learns French literature and sword fighting, becoming an attendant to the French king Henry II, and a particular favorite of his queen, the formidable Catherine de' Medici. The queen considers herself a collector of unusual people and is fascinated by Pedro and determined to find him a bride. That is, like, so strange, but okay. Then Catherine Raffelin is a beautiful 17-year-old girl whose merchant father has fallen on hard times and offers up his daughter to Queen Catherine. The queen will pay his debts and his daughter will marry Monsieur Savage. So there's that. This is a new release as well. I haven't read anything by this author, but she does have several historical books, so I love historical fiction, so love finding new authors, but I'm going to start this now. I'm falling out the bed. Okay. Guys, that hockey game went on for so long because it went into overtime, and just overtime, like, the whole way. Because in the playoffs, it's sudden death. Yeah, I was like, sudden kill, sudden death. And yeah, so it took forever, but we won. So I did read 21 pages of Marvelous, which is 5%. And the writing, okay, like, the writing itself is beautiful, but let me show y'all a good example. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna all these pages stuck. It's very sporadic, and I'm not liking that, but we're going to give it time to see where it goes, and if I don't like it in a week, I'll DNF. So, but like, that's so weird how it's sporadic, but it's beautiful. It reminds me of Irene Sola, and I did not know that Tenerife had indigenous people there before Spain got there. I thought there was just nobody there when Spain got there, like, I don't know. And there was an indigenous population, so they did say what those people were called. I don't know how to say it yet, so that's why I'm not saying it, but it's like Guache. So I'm going to read into that because I knew nothing about that, and I didn't really know about the colonization of Tenerife, so I am learning about Tenerife. All I knew about Tenerife was, like, the world's deadliest plane crash happened there. Like, that's a fascinating documentary. But I am going to get into Anna Karenina tonight. So yeah, this is like a 3-star. It was like a 2-star, but I really liked Kitty's story. So, like, the first quarter I didn't really get on with, but after that I have enjoyed more. So definitely going to still be picking that up tonight, but I'm gonna get a bath because it took me forever to get through that game, so I'm like an hour late getting my bath, and I just really want to. Happy Sunday. It's Sunday, April 23rd at 4:04 p.m. and it has been happy Sunday. I just got, well, I didn't just get home because I ate and all of that, but that's not exciting. So I went to my grandma's house and she watched her first ever NHL game, so that was fun, and we won. We killed them, so that's always fun. And then I went to the grocery store. Nothing exciting there. I didn't really get anything too exciting. Just didn't need anything. And then we only read one book on Sundays, and that is my mood reading pick. So that is Marvelous by Molly Greeley, the historical fiction that I started yesterday, but y'all would already know that. So we are going to just see how much I can get done in here today. This is like 399 pages, I think. So I read 5% yesterday. I would like to read probably at least 10% to, or 10 more of that, so to get to 15%, but I don't really have a goal with my mood reading. I just like to get it done within a week, just because I would get bored if I stayed with something longer than that. But we are going to get into this. Hope it does improve. Like, it's just really the sporadicness, so I hope I just grow used to that, or hope that that just gets better as the novel goes on, because we're only 5%. We're only 21 pages into a nearly 400-page book. So hopefully you can only get better from there and not worse, but you never know. So I'm going to get into this now. It's time to do that math, because I thought it would be fun to do it on camera to like see my reaction. I think I read like 140 something pages today. I got to page 145, so that minus 21. Let's see, 145 minus 21. So I read 124 pages in total today. And later, after I film this clip, I will do to see how many pages I read all week. But we do want to put into Goodreads and Storygraph how much I read. So 145 is the page that we're on. I can't wait to tell you all my thoughts and all the fun stuff. We're talking about Marvelous, if you weren't aware. So 145. So I got a 34%. So I read 29%. I only wanted to read 10% and I read 29%. So super proud of myself for that. And then let's just go put it on Storygraph as well, because if I don't do it right now, I'll forget. It happens more than once a week. Okay, so 145, and then on here, this is like a European app, I think, because it only automatically puts it the next day after a certain time, because I guess where this app is located at. Yeah, this one says I read 35, that I got to 35%. So it varies, but let's talk about it. So characters, I feel for Pedro Petrolis, he has multiple names in this. His French name and then his Spanish name, his original name before, like, no, because when he was in Tenerife, he was like a Christian, they were baptized, whatever, Catholic. But okay, so I'm gonna call him Pedro because that's what it says in the description. I feel for him, like, there's such an innocence to him at the first part before he's married. And I just noticed my Wi-Fi is not working. But okay, so he's very innocent, and he gets taken away to the French court. And believe it or not, the royals, like the king and queen, were like very good to him. And I want to know how true that is. Because honestly, in books, I only see King Henry, I'm not sure which number. I always like him in books, but then like on Reign, I'm like, he's terrible. So on TV portrayals of him, I don't like him, but in books, I like him. So I don't actually know if he was a likable person, like what kind of person he actually was. So I'm definitely gonna have to look into that. And then Catherine de Medici's always had kind of that mystery vibe to her. I always like reading about her and seeing her portrayed in video. I haven't read any nonfiction though, but we do have a plan to read the book The Medici by Mary Hollandsworth later this month, maybe next month. I'm not sure when I'm going to get to that, but soon. But she she had Nostradamus, who was I wouldn't say a seer, but he had predictions of the future, was big into astrology and all of this kind of stuff, which is stuff I'm fascinated in. But but she's usually portrayed as not a likable person. And again, I have no idea what truth there is to any of these people's portrayals, because we're reading about these people what, 600 years later? My math could be wrong there, so no, I think it's more like 500 years. I don't know. But so you never know what's really true or not with history. I guess we don't know till we're dead. Atmosphere, love the French medieval setting, just love it. Well, I guess we're in Renaissance France now. Writing, it is still sporadic, but you do grow used to it as the story goes on. And then plot, extremely fascinating, because this is a story that's influenced so many fairy tales, and we're seeing what those fairy tales were really based on, what the true story was. Was it this great romance or what? And I just think it's a fascinating thing. I think I would like to read more of that, of more of what inspired these fairy tales. But yeah, that is all. I'm going to take a shower, then I'm going to edit what I have of this vlog so far. But first I do need to do the math to see how many pages I read this week. But I will see you. Happy Monday, April 24th at 4 p.m. So 4 o'clock p.m. Perfect. But I just got done filming for the day. I've finished 2 books today, but I'm going to be mean and make you watch my most recent video, which is my TBR. But that means I started a new book today. What do we think of romance books with real people on the cover? I personally hate it. Like, I don't need this man staring into my soul. But this is The Love Potion by Sandra Hill in the Cajun series. This is book 1, but I have read the prequel, which I loved. But this one is Sylvie. It's like a doctor trying to make a love potion. She ends up giving the love potion to a man that she did not mean to. So it all goes into that. I was reading the back, but that's what we're reading. I'm like 3% into it. I want to read like 89 pages today. I don't know how many pages I've actually read, but I'm doing the ebook because mass market paperback I just kind of have a hard time with. Good thing I bought it used though, but I didn't know. I thought it was going to be a normal paperback and then it wasn't. Amazon, right? But I did want to update y'all and let you know what I've been up to today. Guys, I almost fell asleep, but that has like nothing to do with the book and all this. Because again, I was laying in bed about to fall asleep because I was listening to 428 HRZ. I don't know, Hertz, is that how you say it? I don't know, but because y'all know I get headaches on Mondays. That's just a thing. And so yeah, I've been listening to that, and it's all really needs to come off. Because this dress, I accidentally got it in a medium, so it's very big, and I'm like, I feel all poofy because like the shoulders, I don't know if y'all can see that, but yeah. I read 89 pages, which was 19% according to the Kindle app where I'm reading it, but on Goodreads and Storygraph it was like over 20%, so I don't know where you want to say that is, but no real thoughts so far. Like, it's a fine time. I don't know. Yeah, so no thoughts really, but I usually don't have thoughts at this point yet. It's usually around 25% when I start to have thoughts. I do need to get the short story collection. I'm going to start tomorrow. It's translated from Polish. One of my friends, at least I know one of my friends has read it. Others might have, but I know she's read it and she was like, yeah, it's really good. And so I need to go get that off my shelf, but we're not going to be starting that till tomorrow, but I've been meaning to do that. So I'm like telling myself, go do that. And then I'm gonna have some dinner, which is literally gonna be like Chef Boyardee ravioli, because as I said, I am super tired and don't feel like cooking. So I read about 10% of Marvelous today, and we got an interesting bit of history that I don't think I've ever read depicted in media, and that is, I think there's an official name for it, but when Catherine de Medici went and killed a lot of Huguenots. Oh, there's Fred. I was like, what is that noise? It's Fred. But okay. So, if you don't know what Huguenots are, they were French people who were not Catholic. They were Protestant. And not a lot, some of my ancestors were indeed French Huguenots. A lot of people in this part of South Carolina, probably all of South Carolina at this point, but are descended from French Huguenots because they came to this area. So Catherine de Medici married her daughter, I think Marguerite, who they were Catholic, married her to a Huguenot prince, then went and killed a ton of Huguenots and made that guy convert to Catholicism. So that obviously the Huguenots were like, we need to get out of Dodge. So in the southern United States, at least to my knowledge, there might be some in other parts of the country, but just from what I've seen, there is a lot of French Huguenot influence. I've seen a French Huguenot graveyard in St. Augustine, Florida, and then, as I said, my own ancestors and just in this general area, the French names, that's where it comes from. Like Francis Marion Icon. We read a nonfiction book on him before, and obviously there's so many things in this area named after him. His parents or grandparents were French Huguenots, and so it's very prominent in this area. So I never have seen that portrayed in media. And I vividly remember learning about this in history classes event of where all those people were murdered, the massacre. I can still see it to this day learning about this because I just remember learning about it. I don't know why that's one of the things I remember. But I am going to get into Anna Karenina later tonight, but I still have a period of hockey to watch. I would really like a bath, but I can survive another, hour. Yeah, I always want a bath. I mean, that seems to be a common theme. I've read a lot today, definitely over 100 pages. We usually start the week around 200 pages, so yeah, 2 weeks ago I read 238 pages on Monday, and last week 171, so I usually read a good bit on Mondays. Surprisingly, Monday's my busiest day, but I will catch up with y'all sometime. Okay, reading update time for Tuesday, April 25th at 3:34 p.m. So we start our new short story collection, and that is The Last Wish, introducing The Witcher by Andrzej Sapkowski. So this is the first book in the Witcher series. It is a short story collection, and honestly, literally, that is the description right there. It's just like, Geralt is a witcher. He kills monsters. Like, that's like literally all it says. So I've only seen one episode of the show, and I did not like it at all. The editing was just so bad to me that I couldn't watch it. But I know a lot of people who didn't like the show, but they liked the book. And then obviously there was a video game. And I read the first 15 pages, and honestly it reads like a video game. Like, this definitely has video game vibes. I don't know if I would feel the same if there wasn't actually a video game. I don't know. And then I've read 2 chapters so far in the Love Potion today. I plan to read 2 more. So yeah, this is a fine old time. I'm going to say it's more up towards a 3-star rather than a 2. So there's that. But I did just want to update y'all and let you know that I started a new short story collection. I know I did not update last night because I was just having like really bad, I don't want to say really bad because it wasn't that bad, but like muscle, and I'm going to my chest, it was back. And my neck. But I found this video earlier today that like solved my headache and shoulder discomfort. That's why my pillow's naked back there, because one of them, you do like this and then curl, like it's curl, you curl it like this, you curl your arms. So that's why my pillowcase is right there. But like, I'm gonna link it because it fixed my headache. Literally, it said in 5 minutes. It took a little longer than 5 minutes for the headache to actually go away. But I was amazed. That video was just maybe placebo. I don't know, but it worked. The stretches I did. So I'm super happy. So I think most of my tension is right here on the left between my ear and my shoulder. Because like, you could, like when I was stretching it, you could really feel it. That was like the main place. But I just got back from Target and picked up some Tylenol there because it's so rare to find Tylenol, Advil. It wasn't Tylenol, it was the Target brand ibuprofen, but to find Tylenol, ibuprofen, to find like chewables, because I've talked about before, I can swallow pills, but I just have a lot of anxiety about it. Like, I will feel like it's lodged in my throat when it literally isn't. And then I've never tried the liquid form for Tylenol, but I saw it and just the thought of that grosses me out. But literally, if worse came to worse, I would do it if I had to. But yeah, so I got some Tylenol, or not Tylenol, ibuprofen, and just took that. So hopefully it usually takes like 2 hours for that to kick in for me. But yeah, there's just a shortage and I don't know why, and it's so annoying that there's a shortage. It has been since like 2020, and I'm like, how can they not be making that? Like I don't understand why there's a shortage. But I did buy other things. I got this little lighthouse. I've been wanting to get it because my dad loves lighthouses. So I wanted just to buy this because I thought that he would like it and for the next thing. So you can hang this on a wall if you wanted to, but I'm just gonna have it sitting down. I was trying to say seated and then sit. But yeah, it does have a little light inside there, and then obviously you can see it at the top as well, but kind of hard with the tag in the way. So we have that, and then what I really have been wanting is this little bullseye figurine that is so cute. This was all in the dollar spot. So I got into a bullseye and a surfboard. So there are a lot of little like beach themed village pieces, but I'm not really that intrigued by them. So I got the lighthouse, and I'm just gonna put him with the lighthouse just like that. And I love bullseye, and I've been looking for this for a week, so I was glad that I was able to finally find it. But yes, we have been reading all the same books, and I don't really remember what I said yesterday because I didn't even edit the vlog because I was really anxious and watching the hockey game. Yeah, and today is the first day in over a week that I don't have any sports on TV to watch. It just feels so good. But yeah, we had the draft tomorrow for the NFL, so I'm gonna have to see if wherever the Leafs game is, to see if I can watch it online through Spectrum. I'm on my Spectrum login because we only own one TV, so it's like, you know, have to fight for usage. But yeah, I watched the game last night in bed, so I'm basically just taking it really easy as from my back issues. I don't know, I did do a arm and leg workout yesterday, but I'm like, do I go back to doing that? And because maybe since I hadn't worked out for 2 weeks, maybe that's why I've just been so tense, because I haven't been working out. I don't know, it's confusing and stressful, but hopefully the stretches that I found will help me feel better. And yeah, so I figured we would do an end of the day update. I have shorts on, don't worry, but an end of the day update to just talk about all my reading of the day. I have no idea this is going to be a short vlog, a long vlog, because I didn't edit last night, so I'm just going to be doing all the editing tomorrow, which I am going to have a lot of time on my hands tomorrow in the like morning and afternoon, so that all works out. But the first book that I read today was my short story collection, where I'm like, is this really a short story collection? Like, I'm not feeling that, but it says that it is on Goodreads. Okay, yeah, it is. But it's like chapters as well, so it's kind of weird how the setup is. And this is very interesting. No, how I told y'all he's like a monster hunter. The thing is, the princess in this kingdom or empire or whatever, I don't know what it is some kind of monster. We will get to why I say it like that in a minute. So it's kind of like a vampire and werewolf together, as in they like, the kind of monster eats humans or eats blood, something, I'm not sure exactly, but it only happens like at a full moon or something like that, like something with the moon phases. And it's the princess, so it's like, what do we do about this? And the thing of why I feel like I should know about all this already, like I feel like the world building just hasn't been that great. So I don't know if this was a book first or a video game first. I have no idea. I definitely do need to ask my one friend who is reading the series right now, she's further along in it than I am, and be like, give me the rundown. But I have only heard that the short stories aren't as great as the actual books in the series. So even if I give this like not a high rating, I will still try the first like full novel that's not a short story collection. But right now I'm just like, what is this? Like, I feel like I should know about all this that's going on, but I don't. Then I did read 86 pages in The Love Potion. So this is just a cute fun time. It's like a plain 3-star, which means I am enjoying my time reading it, but is it great? No. I think the best thing about this is the setting, as this is in Houma, Louisiana. I might be saying that wrong. I've never been to southern Louisiana, but that's like where this is, southern Louisiana. And the setting is just so good, so rich. And then the dialect, obviously I don't talk with a Louisiana dialect, but you know how they talk down there. And then just the southern sayings and all of that. is really fun because I'm like, I can read this, like I know what these people are talking about. But yeah, so I will probably continue this series because this is the second book that I've read in the series and my camera's going to die. But then we have, or not, yeah, die. But then we have Marvelous, and I'm still feeling the same in here as I was last time I updated. End out the vlog here on Thursday, April 27th at 9:46, and talk about all the reading that I did today. So first we read in The Witcher. I finally made it through the first short story in here, so we're making progress there. Then with The Love Potion, I wanted to finish this book today. That did not happen just because my afternoon got very busy and I forgot that I needed to read early because of the hockey game and all of that. So that is all on me. I mean, I still read over 50 pages, but still I wanted to finish it. Then with Marvelous, I read a good bit. It's starting to feel sporadic again. We're just having time jumps left and right. And I understand at times that happens with historical fiction because maybe the authors don't want to venture too much off the course of history. And going this far back in history, we don't know that much about the people, so you don't really want to fill in the blanks. So I get it, but at the same time, it's just sporadic and doesn't flow nicely. And then I will be getting into Anna Karenina while I edit this vlog, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a rose emoji in the comments if you made it all the way through. And as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. And don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified when all my videos go live. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!